share then in the teachings and the demands of our heritage? And what then are our obligations? What do we share and what are our obligations? To begin with, our belief in the one God who created our world. As the psalmist said, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the flood. Who shall ascend the mountain of the Lord? Who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not taken my name in vain and hath not sworn deceitfully. He shall receive a blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. So then the psalmist makes it an article of faith that God exists, that God created the world. That assertion, plus the first and second chapters of Genesis, reiterated, plain and simple. You want to debate the existence of God? Does God really exist? Go ahead, debate. Our liberal traditions have placed nothing outside the realm of discussion. But clearly, within those texts, there is an assertion of faith. Now, why is that important? Because what follows rests on the assertion. We have an obligation to take care of that creation, to be stewards of that creation. Now, that creation is no more or less wonderful because God created it by fiat, let there be and there was, or whether the world came into being because of a big bang. The miracle is that it came into being. Not how, but that it did. And our obligation follows from it. Take care of the earth. People may be debating whether the earth is warming or not. But we cannot debate that we have a role in protecting it. It is not only global warming that threatens the world. All you have to do is drive the nation's highways and byways and streets. Go into any big city, not only along the nation's highways, and look into the ditches to the side, and you see the smothering filth. Look at the streams and the rivers and the beaches. Smell the foul waters. Well, that's tough to do on Longboat Key, but we're pretty good here. While traditional Native American religion may have a different view of a deity or deities, nevertheless, long before modern Christians and Jews picked up on the theme of good stewardship of this planet, Native Americans were leading the way by living that way. The most cursory survey of the Middle East, of the whole Mediterranean, Southern Europe, will quickly reveal that neither Arab, Muslim, Christian, or Jew in any of those countries has more than the slightest idea of taking care of the environment. And ditto many of the countries in Southern Europe. But we have the obligation as Christians and as Jews to do so. Our faiths teach us that life is not about ignoring the world about us and spending our time contemplating the nature of God. You believe in God? Good. Then stop thinking about God and do God's will. The most cruel and cynical phrase in the book of Genesis is a three-word phrase. Well, it's 3 words in Hebrew. When God asks Cain where his brother is, Cain replies, Hashomer achi anochi, 3 words, am I my brother's keeper? Now those words are cruel, because on their very face they show Cain's disdain for another human being. They show disdain when anybody else uses it. What do I care what's going on with him? I got my own problems. Hashomer achi anochi? What am I, my brother's keeper? They show disdain for one's fellow human being. They are coldly cynical because in the text, Cain has just killed his brother. What, he didn't know it? Am I my brother's keeper? Today, when we use terms like, it takes a village, what are we saying? We acknowledge that our world has shrunk, and that in the words of the great Talmudic sages, Kulanu arevim ze lazeh, every person is responsible for the well-being of his or her fellow persons, fellow human beings. Now, as a descendant of the people who suffered the Holocaust, those words have a very special meaning to me. After the world ignored the plight of my people during the Holocaust, in the aftermath, my people stood up and declared, Af pam lo, never again. While the original intention of those words meant that we Jews would never again allow our fate to be decided by others, it did not take us long to expand our understanding of that statement. For more than a generation now, we have understood it to mean never again will we allow the world to turn away from the threat to any people. That is the message that is our obligation to deliver to the world.